गणपतिगं हवामहि कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिस्सीदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। सरस्वत्यै नमो नित्यं भद्रकाल्यै नमो नमः। वेदान्त विद्यास्थानेभ्यैव च सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। अचतुर्वदनो ब्रह्मा द्विबाहुरपरो हरिः अभाललोचनः शम्भुः भगवान् बादरायणः। Last paragraph of page 10. नारायणं पद्मभुवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपादं महान्तम् गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यम् श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यम् तं तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्माद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि अस्मान् गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। Please bring this every day. So we had seen what is the structure of Brahmasutra in our last class. How many sutras are there in Brahmasutra and what is the definition of sutra? How many chapters are there? There were 4 chapters. 4 chapters were divided into 4 padas each. So there were 16 padas were there, and each section is divided into topics called Adhikaran, and there were 191 Adhikaran which was seen. Some say it is 192 Adhikaran also. I am just giving you a quick revision for your grasping. First chapter is called Samanvaya Adhyaya of Brahmasutra, and in the first chapter Bhagavan Vedavyasa is providing the consistency as the proof to establish the central theme of Brahmasutras. That is called Samanvayadhyaya. You must see your notes. You must have written it, because other darshan don't say the same theme is there. Second chapter is called Avirodha So to say that Brahma Vidya does not have any virod. So Brahma Vidya is defect free. That was the second topic. I hope you have written it. Written. Third chapter, and you remember I said there are 3-4 kinds of contradictions. 3 kind of contradiction was there. I will not go through it. I want to come to new topic. Third chapter is called Sadhanadhyaya. That means the preparatory disciplines required from Brahmasutra. Parampara sadhan was mentioned in that. Bhairanga sadhan was there, Antaran sadhan was there, and Sakshat sadhan were there. That is called the Sadhanadhyaya. Then last was Phaladhyaya. Then we saw Phaladhyaya means Mukti, Videha Mukti, Jivan Mukti, Mukti of the Lokas. All these topics are there. Brahma Sutra is very, very vast. We have to be very careful of what topic is going on. It is not that simple to understand if you are not connecting what is the matter here. Then we saw what was Sutram, Bhashyam and Adhikaranam. We saw these 3 technical words. Keep on making the notes of Brahma Sutra. It will help in your understanding. Because if you read any book is very complicated. Brahma Sutra books are difficult to understand. Later on you can understand. Initially you will find it difficult. Now I'm not going to tell something very new today, but I'm just telling what is the importance of Brahma Sutra. There is one, I had mentioned, there is something called Brahma Sutra is Nyaya Prasthan. So one was Shruti Prasthan, other is Smriti Prasthan, and the third is Nyaya Prasthan. So Prasthan Trayam is required. When Upanishad is called the Shruti Prasthan, and Gita is called the Smriti Prasthan, and Prasthan means way of going into the subject. Prasthan means the methodology adopted to go into the subject of the Upanishads. Smriti is always of some person and Shruti is impersonal. So Smriti is Paurusheya and Shruti is Apaurusheya. Smriti is not something which they have heard in meditation. What is heard in meditation is Shruti, and what any person or Bhagwan has said. Even Bhagwan has said, like Gita is a Smriti Granth. Bhagwan has said, Yagyavalkya Smriti is there, Vasishtha Smriti is there, Manu Smriti is there. Some great person who has used his anubhav to tell that is called Smriti Prasthan. And Shruti Prasthan is that which has been heard by some Rishi. So, very definition of Rishi is Mantra Drashta Rishi Uchyate. Not anybody can be called Rishi. One who has seen the mantra. He is called Rishi. Now, Brahma Sutra does not use the Shruti and Smriti Prasthan. Brahma Sutra uses Nyaya Prasthan. Method again I am repeating, method of proving the oneness of the self. So what do you mean by Nyaya Prasthan? Nyaya means very common word is tark, logic, reasoning, to establish the Upanishadic statement. So what is the speciality of Brahmasutra with respect in comparison to Gita and Upanishad? This is using the logic to establish the Upanishadic statement. So it is not going to explain the Upanishadic statement. Remember that it is not going to explain that is not the work of Brahmasutra. So somebody asks what is the difference between Upanishadic work and the Brahmasutra work. So Upanishad is established in the oneness of the Atma and the Brahman. Nothing else is the work of Upanishad. Brahmasutra is not to establish the oneness of Atma and Brahman. Brahmasutra is using the logic to establish the validity of that statement. Brahmasutra is using the logic. Therefore, it is Nyaya Pradhan. Heavy tark is there in Brahmasutra. And therefore, Bhagwan Bhashyakar has used lot of logic. You have to be ready slightly for heavy logics he has used. And therefore, his commentary on Brahmasutra is very vast, much vaster than Upanishadic commentary. Shortest commentary he gives in Bhagavad Gita only. Only on 2 shlokas of Bhagavad Gita he has given a very elaborate commentary. One is Kshetrajñam chapi mam viddhi sarva kshetreshu bharat 13.2. Another is 18.66 Sardharman Parityaj. Other shlokas commentary are not very elaborate. But here in one sutras he has given exhaustive commentary of few pages sometimes. So you got the difference between Brahmasutra and Upanishad. So you should know it, otherwise you will feel what is the speciality and what is the need for to study Brahmasutra. So if ordinary person is there, so he need not study Brahmasutra. Ordinary seeker is there, he need not worry about Brahmasutra. But those who have chosen the path and those who have dedicated themselves to the life of renunciation totally, for them it is considered that you should study because it will make your nishtha firm. It will make your abidance firm. So I was some saint was asked, Gita they study by Bhashya also, and Upanishad by Bhashya also. So should everybody study by Bhashya? So that saint gave a good answer. He said no need. Everybody, a common person, when we go in the yagna, we don't go one by word, but those who have dedicated themselves, like brahmacharis, swamis, etc., for them Bhashya is very important because Bhashya will make the person nishtha. He will make the person more committed to that knowledge and sadhana. Bhashya is for Atma Nishtha, not Atma Gyan. Because teacher who has studied the Bhashya, he alone can be a good teacher. Because certain things in Upanishadic statements are not clear. So Bhashya will make it clear. See, I am taking in Reservoir Hill without Bhashya. But I am taking the Bhashya. What is the main point? I am putting it. But I am not going word by word because people don't know the Sanskrit, people don't know how to relate. So I am not taking. But when I will take for the Brahmacharis, I will not take without Bhashya because that alone is the way for Nishtha. He will use every philosophy. He will bring out Nyaya, he will bring out Sankhya, he will Pratibodh Viditam Vidam, Pratibodh Viditam Matam. he has very beautifully brought philosophies of Nyaya, who says Atma is Jadam, and he refutes that. So, understand where you require what. Huh? So, if somebody says Bhashya is not required, he is just expressing his ignorance of Bhagavan Shankaracharya about him. So, don't say all these statements in the public. Okay. Bhashya is required, and any teacher who is teaching, if he teaches without studying the Bhashya, he will never be able to teach properly. As simple as this. He can never go into the depth because he doesn't know the meaning. They are the acharyas, they only know the meaning of the particular words. And you have already studied and you will know that. Now Brahmasutra is basically Yukti Pradhan or Anuman Pradhan. Inference based. Inference based. For what? Not to prove Atma in Brahman, but to prove the validity of that statement of Upanishads. So indirectly they are proving that Atma is Brahman, but he is proving how right is that statement and how that statement cannot be refuted. How that Upanishadic statement cannot be refuted. Now, before I come to the reasoning, because heavy reasoning is in Brahmasutra, I will now introduce you to certain reasoning portion which I had already taken in Pramad Vichar. When we were using Pramad Vichar, if you remember, Pratigya was there, Hetu was there, Upne was there, Drishtant was there, Nigaman was there. Then these are all Nyaya points are there. So every philosophy will take something what is important. So Nyaya is very good to know because Nyaya, Vyakran and Purmimamsa. Earlier before studying Vedanta, people were studying these three for around 8-9 years and then they were coming into Vedanta. So Nyaya is required to know how to think logically. Not just think logically, and therefore Nyaya will be required. We'll use Nyaya as a tool, not as a goal. We'll use as a tool. Now, today I will try to put another word of the same Pratigya. Remember, Pratigya was there. Pratigya, Hetu, Drishtant and Upne. Nigaman, what you say. So, taking the Drishtant to the Hetu is called Upne and conclusion is the Nigaman. This you had heard. The discussion will be technical. Please be careful. Expect little subtle points today. And tomorrow onwards I will come to Adhyas Bhashya. I will take Adhyas Bhashya, but I already explained all Adhyas Bhashya in our course. I am not going to take in that manner because I want to go to other sutras of Brahmasutra. In 4 sutras we had 52 classes. 52, 56, something like that classes we had taken word by word. My attempt here in this Brahmasutra is to take all sutras and give really what each sutra is telling to us, so that you are not lost if I mention any sutra in between. So it appears I don't know what is this sutra is there. So we will not be lost about that. So this is my attempt. Let us see what God wants. So in Tark Shastra, now I am putting the same 5 factors into 4 factors now. Another name we will give that. So 5 factors were what? Pratigya, Drishtant, Pratigya, Hetu, Drishtant, Upnay, Nigaman. These are the 5. This is called Tark Panchang. Tark Panchang. Pratigya, Hetu. I will give the English one also. Just hear this. Pratigya, Hetu, Drishtant, Upnay and Nigaman. Okay, these are the 5 things. Now Vedanta has condensed it to 4 only. Giving another word. Vedanta is put into 4. What is the 4? You write it. Number 1, Pakshaha. Pakshaha. Number 2, sadhyam. Number 2, sadhyam. Number 3, hetuh. Number 3, hetuh. Number 4, drishtantah. Pakshah, sadhyam, hetuh, and drishtantah. Okay, these are the 4 things. Pakshah, hetuh, pakshah, sadhyam, hetuh, drishtantah. What is meaning of paksha? Paksha means locus. Sadhyam means what you want to prove. To be proved. Hetu means reasoning, inference. And drishtant means example. English words can never do justice, but I am trying. This is just a. I hope you're not feeling hot. We need aircon. Aircon. It's okay. So again, paksha, sadhyam, hetuh, drishtantah. Certain things you should know it. I am not saying anything new. I'll tell you why I am saying it, which I have very frequently used while teaching the Upanishad. What is the meaning of the paksha? Parvataha agniman. Parvataha agniman dhumatvat yatha mahanase. You write it. Parvataha agniman. Parvataha agniman dhumatvat yatha mahanase. Parvataha agniman dhumatvat yatha mahanase. So one statement has been given. What is the statement? That there is a mountain. On that mountain is a smoke. So somebody said, because the smoke is there, therefore fire should be there. So Parvataha is the pakshaha, Agniman is sadhyam, Dhumatvat is hetu, and Yatha Mahanase, Mahanase means kitchen. Like in the kitchen, example, all 4 are there now. All 4 are there. Got my point? All 4 are there. Pakshaha, sadhyam. Sadhyam you want to prove. Somebody saw there is a smoke in the mountain. So other person now concluded. It's a very simple looking sentence, but heavily used in Vedanta. You are now into a classical Vedanta. Study of Brahmacharis is different than our yagnas. So Parvataha is the locus. So now conclusion is what? Then second person said. So first person said there is a fire in the mountain. Second person, who was a knowledgeable person, he said that means there is a, first said there is a smoke. Second said because there is a smoke there should be fire. What is the second statement? Parvataha agniman. Agniman is sadhyam. Now he is concluding. The final conclusion is there. Now hetu, what is the hetu? Dhumatvat. Where tvat comes, that is called hetu, reasoning. Anuman. Hetu means anuman. Anuman. Okay. Anuman is one. Praman is there. What is the example? Yatha mahanase. All 4 are covered. Paksha, sadhyam, hetu and drishtant. All 4 are covered. Is it clear? I think simple. You have heard it. You have to train your mind to think like that. If you have not trained your mind to think, you will just believe randomly. People don't use proper thinking praman. They don't Praman kushalta is not there. Praman kushalta is not there. People, only those who come in the ashram, well, I don't want, I'll become sannyasi. So this is not the pramana. All the people who come in the ashram don't become sannyasi. First you are using unconsciously this pramana. Those ever who come in the ashram, this is for sannyas. Therefore I am afraid of coming. अब देखो he has used a wrong pramana, now wrong vyapti. Vyapti word is used. Those who come in the ashram, they will become sannyasi. Therefore I don't want to become sannyasi. Therefore I don't come. This is a wrong pramana. This is a wrong pramana. So somebody, just said, well, I'm afraid of being committed to any religious organization. I don't want to get committed to any religious organization. Acha, this is the paksha. No hetu he gave, no praman he gave. No hetu, no cause he gave. You should give a cause and then I'll justify that. Why? This is called without head and tail. In English they call, he's talking without head and tail. Well, I don't want. Your home itself is one organization. By living, you cannot avoid any organization. Your college is one organization. School, college is also one organization. Home is also one organization. Road is also one organization. You know that. Organization is a rule, is a must to increase any qualification or learning process. Body is also one organization. क्या सोचा आपने? You have not thought over any topic and give this statement. Organization is required to increase a certain qualification. And you cannot avoid an organization. Even Gurudev is studying with the Poonam Maharaj was a small organization which he had to follow. Small organization of studying with him. Why? Because to learn he has to follow certain rules to study that. He had to live in an ashram life. Where I went, somebody said. So, like marriage is also one organization. Because you are entering into an organization called marriage to increase your qualification. This is the thinking behind that. This is the hetu why organization is required. When you are fit in that, when you have gained the qualification, you need not live in that organization. You can and you cannot. Option is yours. But if you have not yet gained that maturity, then it is important to live in the organization. Only how long we should live in the ashram, in the guru, etc. As long as your mind is not controlled. Simple. And as long you have not gone the Shastra Nishtha, therefore Vividisha Sannyas is there. After Vividisha Sannyas, and if you have controlled your mind and you have listened sufficiently, then you need not live with the teacher. What teacher has said, you can contemplate at some other place. That is called which sannyas? Vidvat sannyas. You got it? So don't say anything like that. If you hear some statement, you should not just take it. Person is afraid of committing. Simple thing is there. He doesn't want to commit to any bigger thing. You cannot, you have to live in some organization. If you are not living, it is just like that. I want to become doctor, but I don't want to go to medical college and school. You can leave medical college after you have got through the knowledge. As long you have not mastered the subject, it is imperative. You have to live in the medical college. You have to work with the seniors. You have to talk with the professors. That is the only way. So organization is for yogyata prapti. Samstha is for Yogyata Prapti. Somebody said, therefore I am just mentioning. This is the hetu for that. Only what is the, this is the hetu. So one is the paksh, sadhyam, then hetu. And what is the drishtant? Drishtant is yatha, yatha sikshakaha, yatha abhiyanta, like an engineer. Engineer has gone through engineering college. So we have to go through that. I hope this point is clear. So don't think without randomly using any word, using any statement, using any statement. People take one drishtant and use the as a common line. Huh? I saw supposing one brahmachari, and that brahmachari was sad. Supposing out of 100 brahmachari, I saw one brahmachari or brahmacharni, whosoever is there, and that brahmachari or brahmacharni was sad. Then I made a statement. I think those who come in this path are sad. I've heard all these things. He may be sad because of certain reason. Sadhana is going on, ups and downs are there of the mind. Person is sad, again he'll pick up. Now this is the wrong way of thinking. Got my point? No? This is wrong way of thinking. Because you have made like that. One Indian is a thief. One Indian is supposing he stole something. Then I made a statement, Indians are thief. This is a wrong way of thinking. One thing you cannot generalize for everybody. You are making a very wrong statement. People think like that. That's not the case. So, Nyaya is a thinking discipliner. Discipline is there. Disciplines are there. So now we will see how this discipline is used in Brahmasutra. And if you have read Bhashya, this discipline, personally, if you ask me, I have learned lot of disciplining in thinking by Bhashya. He puts it very beautifully. Now, Paksha is Parvataha, because locus of the dispute is the mountain. Locus of dispute is the mountain. Fire is not the fire is there or not there. The dispute is on the point. Somebody said fire is not there. Somebody said no, fire is there. But the mountain is there or not, there is no dispute. Mountain is easily seen. Fire is there on the mountain or not, that is a problem. So always Paksha is known and Sadhyam is not clear. Paksha is known, but the Sadhyam, what you want to prove, is not very clear. So fire, is there fire or not, that is under dispute. Because it is non-perceptible. Fire is not seen. Smoke is seen. But fire is not seen, and therefore we say this is not there. And now to prove that there is a fire, what you will be using? Inferential method. You will be using the Anuman Praman. Anuman Praman. I have told it in Anuman. I am going to explain it now in the reference to Brahmasutra. Now, so is the mountain seen? Mountain seen, but partially something on the mountain is seen, partially it is unseen. So in that mountain, what is there? The visible portion is the smoke and invisible portion is the fire. So dharmi is visible, dharma is not visible. So what do you want to prove? I want to prove that in the mountain fire is there. So what is the fire? Sadhyam. Fire is the sadhyam. Okay. Now I am coming to and hetu dhumatvat, because there is a smoke therefore. So smoke in the fire, smokiness of the mountain is the hetu. So what is paksha? Pratyaksham. Sadhyam apratyaksham. Hetu pratyaksham. I'm repeating it. Technical words are there, you have to familiarize with that. I'm repeating. Pakshaha is pratyaksham, perceptible, easily. Sadhyam, apratyaksha, because I don't know. I don't see the fire. I saw the mountain. There is a smoke only. And hetu is pratyaksha. Cause is pratyaksha. Hetu means yatra yatra dhumah tatra tatra vanni. This is the hetu. This is not. This is pratyaksham. I have seen it somewhere. If I have not seen this, then this hetu will not be there unless drishtanta. If drishtanta is not there, you can't make a hetu. Now, one example is there to show. Yatha mahanase. Acha, please get this point. Yatra yatra dhumaha tatra tatra vanni. But yatra yatra vanni tatra tatra dhuma asti va nasti. Wherever there is smoke, there is fire. But wherever there is fire, there may not be smoke. Got my point? Wherever fire is, smoke there. Wherever fire is there, smoke is there. Sorry, wherever smoke is there, fire has to be there. But wherever fire is there, smoke may not be there. Modern gases are there. In that fire is there, smoke is not there. In the body also fire is there. Temperature is there. Body has a temperature. But smoke doesn't come out. Although that you are saying from the head, my smoke is coming out from the, even in the film, etc. They show sometimes smoke, etc. Especially in the cartoon film, you see there is smoke coming out of the person. But that is in the film, not reality. Smoke is seen, it is not right. So, what is the knowledge you are using? We are using Anuman Pramana. So, yatra yatra dhumaha tatra tatra agnihi or vannihi. Right or wrong? Right or wrong? Yatra yatra dhumaha tatra tatra vanni. Right or wrong? Right. Yatra yatra vanni tatra tatra dhumaha. Wrong. No, you're getting, you have to condition your mind. Remember, this is called Vyapti Jnanam. Vyapti Jnanam. So, can you give an English word of Vyapti Jnanam? Invariable coexistence. The knowledge of invariable coexistence of the fire along with the smoke. This is called invariable coexistence. You should know the English also, although I'm never satisfied with this English translation. But the person who does not know Sanskrit, you have to get him. Invariable coexistence. If this is there, then this will be there. This is called Vyapti Jnanam. If smoke is there, fire has to be there. This is called invariable coexistence or Vyapti Jnanam. Okay. I have told all these things. I am giving you again because we are going to use in Brahmasutra very much. Well, I am so afraid. No, don't get afraid. So, yatra yatra dhumaha tatra tatra agni. Now there are two words. One is called vyapyam, other is called vyapak. Vyapakam, other is called vyapyam. Well, I didn't know all things is so difficult. I wouldn't have come in the class. No, you have no option but you have to come. You have to listen to Brahmasutra. Now that you started, you have to listen. Whether you like or not is not a question. Not a question. You have to listen. I am so confused. Never mind. You are confused in all matters, not only Brahmasutra. So, yatra yatra dhumaha and tatra tatra vanni. Dhyan dena, be careful. Yatra yatra dhumaha, this is smoke is called vyapyam. and Agni is called Vyapakam. One is called pervaded, other is called pervading. Smoke is called Vyapyam, and is fire is called Vyapakam. So yatra yatra Vyapyam tatra tatra Vyapakam. Yatra yatra Vyapyam tatra tatra Vyapakam. Okay. Vyapyam and Vyapakam. What is more important, Vyapyam or Vyapakam? Vyapakam. Vyapakam is dependent on Vyapyam or Vyapyam is dependent on Vyapakam? Vyapyam is dependent on Vyapakam. Smoke is dependent on fire and not that fire is dependent on smoke. Don't take in the meaning of, that the air is pervading the space. Don't bring that meaning here. Hello, be careful. The mistake students do here. Here students do the mistake that they try to think about the balloon and the air in the balloon. So the pervaded is the balloon and pervading is the air. Don't bring that meaning. Don't bring that meaning. It is like that. Yatra yatra sannyasi tatra tatra tyagah. और यत्र यत्र त्यागः तत्र तत्र सन्यासी. त्याग is dependent on sannyasi or sannyasi is dependent on tyag. Yatra yatra tyagah tatra tatra sannyasi. No, not necessary. Because any person can do tyag also. He may not be sannyasi. But yatra yatra sannyasi tatra tatra tyagah. And therefore tyag will be called Vyapakam and sannyasi will be called Vyapyam. Other person may do tyag, still he may not be sannyasi. A doctor may be doing some renunciation. He said, I gave all my salary. I don't keep my salary. I need only 10% of my. Yatra yatra brahmachari tatra tatra seva. Or brahmacharyam. Put it like. Or seva, let us put. If brahmachari is there, or yatra yatra seva tatra tatra brahmachari. No. Brahmachari is dependent on seva, or seva. Brahmachari is dependent on seva. So seva is Vyapyam and brahmachari is Vyapakam. I hope you got the meaning. Vyapyam. Just very important. What is the cause of something without which something cannot be there? That is Vyapyam. Sorry, Vyapakam. And what is the effect? That is the Vyapyam. Vyapakam. What is the effect? That is the Vyapyam. And what is the cause will be the Vyapakam. This is called their coexistence of Vyapyam and Vyapakam is called Vyapti Gyan. The coexistence of Vyapyam and Vyapakam is called Vyapti Gyan. This is called invariable coexistence. They will be coexisting. Okay. I hope. So, Vyapyam in Vyapti Gyan also becomes now Sadhyam. So, yatra yatra hetuhu tatra tatra sadhyam. So, wherever there is a hetu, there is sadhyam. Then sadhyam means anuman praman is valid after that. If the hetu is there, then anuman praman is valid. Now let me come to another point. So, what do you mean by that? I mean to say, only mean to validate the Vyapti Vakyakyam is perception. If somebody has not seen the coexistence of the fire and the smoke, he will not be able to establish Vyapti Gyan. If somebody has never seen the kitchen, earlier kitchen were not the kitchen now with the gas stoves. Earlier there used to be fire and the wood was used. The cow dung was used. Fuel as a fuel. And that used to create a lot of fire. In the kitchen, quite a smoke was there. Lot of smoke. So in our houses we saw sometimes cylinder was over. The gas cylinder was over. So not that immediately there was pipeline was there and the gas was coming the not like that. Or there are six cylinders like our ashram has. How many cylinders are there? Six? Four together? Two at a time. And I think advance is kept. If some immediately it goes, then you put another. This was not the case. Cylinder used to come after some time. Used to keep one. Now they say, oh, then the cylinder will come. So after 1 week, 2 weeks, sometimes cylinder were coming. So then they used to put the chulha was there. You know chulha. So there was a mud kind of thing. And they used to put the wood there and they used to fan it like that. Whole eyes used to get red because of that. And then, but the food cooked was excellent with that chulha. There is no match. Still, some places they still cook the food with that fire. I don't know what is there in that. The fire is more good, but there is another kind of. They say taste is there in that food. But tedious process and lot of fire. Now here lighter is a tuck, then it is all on. Lighter is also not required in our gas. You just switch it on. Now these gases are there, and some people keep switch it on and run away. So they don't care to switch it off also. And then you will have a smell of the gas all around. And if that smell is there, you put on light, the whole thing can be on fire. Anyway, that is not the question here. How to take precaution in gas cylinders. Question here from where you go and then you only see. The question here is about the Vyapti Gyan, and therefore this example was given. Modern person may not understand this example sometimes. I'm afraid. They don't understand what is this, so they have to be explained in this manner. Anyway, now very important point which is coming now, that only way of validating the Vyapti Gyan is perception. Perception means you have seen it. And therefore, whenever Vyapti Vakyam is disproved, Anuman Praman is also disproved. Wherever Vyapti Gyan is not established, you are not able to establish, then you cannot infer. Inference is not possible at that time. If you have not observed, just now I gave the example, that a boy who has not seen the association, he has never seen that chulha kitchen. He has never seen that kitchen. He only saw from the childhood. We have a sanskar of Indian way of cooking. Therefore, we have seen, immediately we say, if he is seeing, he has only seen the kitchen, then he will never be able to relate. I don't know why you are putting this example. Ita mahanase. So he will not be able to relate to this point what is said. So wherever Vyapti Gyan is disproved, wherever Anuman is also disproved. Some Anuman is not there. That Vyapti Gyan and Anuman are based on together. They are related to each other. If you cannot establish Vyapti, Anuman is not there. Like I disapproved just now that we should not, commitment to organization should not be there because this Vyapti is not proved and therefore your Anuman is wrong. Your anuman was, your inference was, that those who are brahmachari, they are sad. This is your, because I saw one. Because vyapti, you are saying yatra yatra brahmacharitvam tatra tat dukhitvam. This vyapti gyan is not right. This vyapti gyan is not right. You have put one vyapti, yatra yatra brahmacharitvam tatra tatra dukhitvam. This is totally wrong. Because you cannot give all examples. You cannot give that anywhere I saw every brahmachari is sad. It's not like that. Otherwise, so many books wouldn't be coming out from them. So much knowledge means mind must be very quiet to write so many books. That means they were not sad. Okay, because now that anuman is wrong now. Your inference is because your vyapti is wrong and therefore your inference is wrong. I told you it is based on logic now. You have to train the mind thinking like that. Okay. So observation or inference is based on the observed data. Inference is based on the observed data. You can say data also, whatever you want to say, you can say both are right. I was told, I found out. Data is right or data is right. You say both is right. You can say my phone data is, what is that, my internet data is over. So inference is based on observed rules. So what is the conclusion? Conclusion is that I collect data or data from something. Around from what topic I collect the data, conclusion also will be around that topic. Again I lose that. Where you collect the data, conclusion also you can make about that area. You cannot collect data about another area and have conclusion about another area. Where you have inference is about some area and conclusion about some area, that is there cannot be two different things. Got my point? You are collecting data, perception is about something and conclusion is about another thing. This perceptional knowledge and conclusional knowledge should not be of two different areas. If I have perceived you and I have a perception about you, I cannot conclude about him. I will conclude about you only. If I have a vyapti about one subject, so conclusion also should be in this, both the vyapti gyan and the anuman should be on one plane of existence. Got my point? If I am studying about water, and if I say that water falls down, or water is fluid, supposing I say, yatra yatra jalatvam tatra tatra dravyatvam. This is my vyapti gyan. So conclusion will be about water only. You can't conclude about fire now. You don't go to the fire. When you are inferring about, when you are using the vyapti about one subject, you cannot jump to conclude something else about that which is not in that area. You cannot say because water flows down or water has dravatyam, therefore fire is hot. This is wrong logic. You are hopping here and there. Okay. So what you want to say? In very layman's language I'll use now. Data and conclusion should be about the same object. Acha. Now I'm using the Nyaya language. Hetu and Sadhyam should be about the same object. It's very interesting. If somebody loves to use his intellect, he will be reveling in it. Data and conclusion should be about the same object. Okay. Technically, Hetu and Sadhyam should be about the same Paksh. When you are talking about the fire and the smoke, you have to take, both are on the mountain only. You cannot jump out of the mountain now. We are talking about the mountain. So fire, because the association of the fire, this is in your mind, association of the smoke and the fire is there. Now conclusion about that, you have to conclude about fire and the smoke in the mountain only. You cannot go on something else now. So hetu sadhyayoho samanyadhikaranam vaktavya. So hetu and sadhya should be in the samanadhikarana. Okay. What you want to say? I am going to say very important thing. In the science uses the data collected from the world. So conclusion of science should be about the world only. All the vyapti you are using as through the worldly experiences. You should not conclude about the Atma through the hetu of the Jagat. Oh, this is what you wanted to, yes. Yes. This is what I wanted to say. Okay. Why? Because Atma is not in of the world. It doesn't have the guna of the world. It doesn't have variation. It is another plane. Scientific reasons are used for scientific conclusions. Scientific reasons should not be used to conclude about Atma. Scientific reasons can be used about Anatma. And therefore scientific praman is called Laukik praman. All Laukik praman will take you to Anatma Gyan. Laukik praman will not take you to Atma Gyan. And therefore scientific way of reasoning is not the way of Atma Vidya. So Anuman has access to Anatma Gyan. Laukik praman, Laukik Anuman has access to Anatma Gyan. And Laukik Anuman has no access to Atma Gyan. Don't mix that topic. Both are in a different level. So because you are logically here, you can't put the same logic in the Atma and prove Atma. They are not in that same level. Because data and conclusion should be of the same level of existence. Then what is the logic used? What is the Nyaya or logic used for Vedanta? Because Laukik Anuman is based on perceptional knowledge. And Shastri Gyan is also based on data collection. Huh? What did you say? The worldly knowledge is based on data collection. The Atma Vidya is also based on data collection. But that source of data collection is not perception, it is Shastra. Source of data collection in the case of Laukik Gyan is Pratyaksha, sensory. Source of data collection in the Atma Gyan is not perceptional, it is scriptural. Because it is not the object of senses. Atma is not the sensual thing. When you are talking something about this sensual thing, about the senses, then the data should be collected from the sensual perception. But when you are talking about the Atindriya Vishaya, which is beyond the senses, the data of the senses won't work there. Then what will work there? The Shastriya data is collected from Shastra Gyan. And therefore Shastra is the more data collection is from Shastra. As if your Shastra is another eyes, third eyes. So Shastra is like the third eyes, which is telling about the subject which is beyond the senses. Therefore, they are trying to find out Atma by putting the body in one glass. Ah. So, a dead body is there, about to die, Mumurshu. So, he is put under the glass casket. So, they say if the glass breaks, then Atma has gone out. Ab you are using all these perceptional point to prove Atma. And Atma is pervading the glass also. So, you cannot prove Atma through this thing. You cannot say Atma didn't. And some say glass cracked also. I don't know what they mean. I have not seen. Can't believe. Why do you make the glass cracked? You are using another data to conclude on another topic. You are not understanding what I'm understanding. Science has assumed that observation is valid, and it does not question the observed result. So, therefore, scientific observation and scientific conclusion is fine. But worldly observation and conclusion about the self is not fine. What they say? Bole Swamiji, Atma is not seen by anybody. How can it be existing? Because you are using the worldly things exist. Something in the world exists because it is observed. So this data, if anything can be seen or heard, therefore this is existing. You should not use on the Atma which is beyond the senses. That person is not there. Where? In the ashram. Why? Because I have not seen him. He has not come today. Acha, he has not come today. No. Why? I did not see him at all. I was there hold in the ashram. But he didn't come today. I called from Johannesburg. Arey, that person has come today. No, he is not there. How do you know? I am there. In the office I am sitting. So it is right. Because he is not seen by senses. Whatever is seen by senses is existing is my hetu. And therefore he is not there. My conclusion is, but you cannot. Problem is this. We use the same way to reach to the, because Atma is not seen by the senses, therefore it is not there. Because Bhagwan is not seen, therefore Bhagwan is not there. And they feel I am very logical, I am very scientific. He is not the topic of the senses, therefore you don't use this Vyapti Gyan there. Don't use this Vyapti Gyan there. To know about that which is beyond the senses, you have to collect the data from the Shastram. And not through your general perceptions. Conclusion may be something we will see, it is Dvait conclusion, whatever a conclusion. And therefore all the darshan which are Astik darshan, Dvait, whether Vishishta Dvait, Dvaita Dvait, Shuddha Dvait, they all believed in the Shastram only. I hope this is my flow. So scientist validates his experiences through perception. So he will use big microscope, telescope, or what is in the moon there is water or not, Mars water or not. You will find through certain perceptions are there. Brahmasutra is not collecting the data from the perception. It is collecting from Shastram. Coming back to Brahmasutra also. And he will now, Bhagavan Vedavyasa will pick up various statements from the Shastram to put his point. And therefore, the primary requisite is that at least believe there is Shastra is true. If you don't believe, you will end up in Bauddhic, or you will end up in Jain Darshan. There is something Shastra exists and that tell. And how do we know exists? Use it and then you will know it. The only way to know Praman is right or not is to use it. Well, by glasses you can see well. Well, I don't believe. No, you put on the glasses and then you see. Somebody says, I have put on the glasses, progression, but I am falling. I said, put for a long time. Progression glasses will take time to adjust. You will feel in between. Initially, you will feel, I am not able to see where is it. You put for some long time, then glass will get adjusted. It is our mental problem. And then you will be able to understand my glasses were okay. Then Praman can only be validated by using. Please get all these points. People very easily say, well, I don't believe in scripture. Tell me one statement which you don't believe in. Tell me. Did you apply it and then you, well, I don't believe in Gayatri Mantra. Did you apply, did you chant Gayatri Mantra and then you said, or without chanting yours? Well, I don't believe in Guru as a child. Have you lived with some Guru? Oh, no, I lived, he took away my money. Then he was not Guru. He was a crook then. Not Guru, he is a crook. Okay, my time is over. I'll come back to it tomorrow. Therefore, Brahmasutra is required. How Brahmasutra will proceed, we will understand. This was my topic today. On what? Like the train runs on the rail. So what is that on which Brahmasutra sutras will run? Will be Shastriya Praman and not Laukik Praman. He will be using Shastra statement, especially of the Upanishad, and don't get surprised. At least you believe and you will see then he will conclude on that. We'll see tomorrow. Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om